Chapter 20 is where the game starts getting dumb for these rules. This map is revolved around using a lot of Dragon Veins again, and if that doesn't make it obvious, there isn't really getting around this map being really slow and boring. I don't want to waste too much time on preparations, so I'll go more in depth on later turns. For now, let's get started. Turn 1, I have Reina start heading north to kill the Master Ninjas. She takes a good amount of damage, but her personal skill heals her up to complete safety. Without it, she dies on enemy phase. Tsubaki carries Baruka over to kill a second Master Ninja. The other side I want to have take care of the Kenshi Knights. I can kill one of them on this enemy phase by using Oboro with Laszlo's dual strike. She's bulky enough to be able to tank a hit from a bow. I want Corrin to move to the second island so my grounded units are able to progress later on.
No.
It's not over yet.
I owe you one.
The other Kenshi Knights are approaching, so I have everyone retreat but leave Laszlo at the edge of enemy range so I can kill one on enemy phase.
Finish this.
I'm so ready for this.
This will be enjoyable.
I'll just be here.
You'll be all right.
The other side is gonna finish off the Master Ninjas and start working on the Sword Masters.
Like coming home. Stay focused. Clumsy. Like coming home.
Be careful. I hope some girls are watching.
The rest of the map is pretty straightforward. It's really difficult to make this map super interesting since the game is banking on you using a bunch of royals and being able to move around everywhere. Instead, I just kind of have to funnel my units into one area while I slowly take out groups of enemies. This won't really stop being a trend in the story maps, unfortunately. I could have been funny and allowed something like First Blood to circumvent this issue, but I've already committed to no DLC. For the record, I actually enjoy late game rev. In fact, I started this challenge based on the old video of me soloing all of Chapter 25 with Baruka. The game just isn't really meant for you to only use Corrin as your royal, and I honestly don't recommend it. At least use Azura. I'll admit that some of the most fun parts of this challenge was when I was able to use Elise in Chapter 14 and Hinoka in Chapter 16. Just being able to use their personal skills was really nice, and for Elise's case, it was really nice having a good high movement healer before I made Felicia a strategist. Back to the map though, you'll notice that I'm only bringing one of the support chains that I'm actively trying to work towards, which is Jacob and Hana. All of the units that I'm bringing are pretty necessary. I brought Tsubaki, Reina, Oboro, and Setsuna because they're my flyers. Kaze is because I need a lock touch unit for this map since there's 4 chests but only 3 chest keys. I brought Baruka because she's by far my strongest unit and is easy to fall back on when I need something to get done. Laszlo is so I can use bows against the many enemy flyers, and Hinata and Odin are mainly to help with the generals. This leaves 2 deployment slots. Tsubaki is the healer for the northern side, so I wanted to bring a healer for the western side as well. The only candidates for that are Jacob, Azama, and Felicia. Felicia and Nizama are already married, and Jacob is only B support with Hana right now, so I figured that this was the best option. The other candidates for marriage were Perry, Niles, Kagero, and Selena. Laszlo and Perry are already A support. They're going to get S support in the next map together, so I figured that I could save it for a map with better deployment slots. Niles and Setsuna are also already A support, and I'd rather have my flyers freed up for this map in the first place. Odin and Kagero are again A support, and will get S support within the next 2 maps. That leaves Selena and Hana as the 2 to choose from. I don't think there was really a wrong answer to picking one over the other, but I decided that it was probably better to work on Jacob's. I do want to dip into the topic of Setsuna specifically for a little bit. It's no surprise that her stats are not amazing, especially her strength stat, but I believe she's actually on average with it. She's effectively a worse Reyna right now. I can do some things to mitigate this issue though. I do have Percy in the mess hall to give everyone +2 and 3 stats for every map. I can use tonics and pair-ups, and I can use the dragon herbs on her from Midori's paralog if I really want to. I decided to play ahead, and her stats, even a few levels in, are not amazing. The best thing I can probably do for her now is to reclass her into Sniper, but I'm not sure when the best time to do that is, since I'll be losing out on one of my valuable flyers. I gave her Niles as her husband, which honestly I think benefits Niles more than it benefits Setsuna. I could give him Bowfair and Quick Draw and then have him use the Shining Bow in Adventure, which would be really fun, and I almost regret not doing this. I don't think it's necessarily too late to start trying for this, but it's definitely a tough commitment at this point. My main thought process for Setsuna was to be able to get her movement +1, pass, and lock touch, and then be able to go into Kenshi Knight. I could also give her the 2 boots you get in Revelation to make her movement even better. I might still do this, but I'm not too sure when this would even be useful at this point. I will say that some of this issue is partially a result of my lack of foresight. If you remember back when I was fresh off Chapter 10, I gave some stat boosters to units that wouldn't end up being long term. One of these cases ended up being giving a strength drop to Saizo. I really wished I saved that for Setsuna, or even anyone else, since I quickly benched him after he got married. I even regret my marriage option for Saizo, which was Obero. My plans for him were to make him a debuffing machine. Spearmaster gives Seal Defense and Seal Speed, and his Heart Seal class is Samurai, so I can get into Master of Arms and get Seal Strength easily as well. The big Master Seal drought and my decision to promote Kaze before Saizo was really what killed him. He got level 20 in Chapter 17. Up until I did Paralog 19, I just didn't have enough money to buy Master Seals. By the time I did have money for it, I was already set on buying other things like a partner in Heart Seal for Baruka along with weapons and tonics. In short, Kaze just ended up being the easier option to invest in. I think Kaze is one of the few units in Fates that are amazing without any special treatment. I back this up with my complete disaster of a Conquest run on my channel, where Kaze absolutely dominated the later chapters. Any map where you're fighting a bunch of mages is a goldmine for the guy. He's also one of the best Fire Emblem characters ever made, which is a plus. We're about to kill the general that has the chest key to unlock the water wheel. I'm going to be selling all of the S-rank weapons in this run. I will have the option to use all of them since I have pretty easy access to the S-rank classes, but I would much rather sell them for gold to use weapons that don't give me massive debuffs after use or require going all the way to S-rank. I just don't think it's worth the effort, especially for what I'll end up using my arm scrolls on. I consider selling these as compensation for Chapter 24. I will spoil that I have made the decision to not try for the stealth mission, which grants you 10,000 gold, a Master Seal, and boots. The only thing that I will actually be missing out on is the boots, but I will get a pair next chapter anyways, and I personally don't even think I need that one either. Back on the topic of this challenge getting dumb in the later chapters. Dumb solely means slow and linear. For these videos, I've been trying to at least play well enough to have things to actually explain other than I use my clump of units to kill their clump of units. One of the main things that inspired me to get really decent at Fire Emblem was watching a bunch of LTCs, which have a lot going on in those minimal amounts of turns. I don't actually want to do LTCs myself. For starters, I just don't think I have the skills to do it as well as others could, and a lot of LTC gameplay has a ton of unreliable strategies that look miserable to play out. I instead try to aim for a middle ground. It isn't quite as crazy as an LTC would be, but I'm not like turtling every map and could still do some pretty cool things. I've only adopted this style of gameplay recently, so I'm not as amazing as I would like to say I am. Around when I started to put effort into my videos, so the Paralog 2 and 17 clears of my Conquest run, I figured that there wasn't really a point in doing commentary on things that don't need to be explained. That's when I really started putting an effort into my strategies so I could have things to actually commentate on. And it ended up being a lot of fun to make strategies for the maps, so I kept the style. Think of this channel right now as my own personal journey to become what I think qualifies as a good Fire Emblem player. I don't think I'm quite there yet. I like to point the blame to Three Houses being my first game, which doesn't really punish you for making mistakes. While I think Three Houses isn't a bad game to start with, it and Echoes I think promotes bad habit forming. For me, this caused an awful tunnel visioning problem that I still struggle with sometimes, since I would think of a way to beat a map or kill an enemy and just try it over and over again. This isn't that punishing in the past two games, since you can just rewind and change the turn order, but in these older games, you obviously can't really do that. There isn't a whole lot else that I want to comment on without getting into completely unrelated tangents, so I'll get off here. Enjoy the rest of the map.
Your battle has ended. Leave it to me. Do your best.
I'll do my best. I can support you.
Stay calm.
Looks like we have no choice.
Let's get started.
I am at your service.
Shall we?
This scum doesn't stand a chance! We can win this one.
Let's go. Allow me to join you.
I'm on your side.
I won't leave you. You have my support.
The darkness whispers.
Allow me to join you.
Well,
I've got your back.
I won't let you down.
So bored.
All right, come on.
Quickly now.
Trust me. You may rely on me. I'm always ready.
Here we go.
Is there a plan? Be careful.
I won't leave you.
I'll do my best.
I believe in you. I won't let you down.
Is that what you're wearing?
Allow me to join you.
I'll protect you.
So excited!
Is that what you're wearing? I've got your back.
Showtime! I'll be strong for you.
Oh, are we fighting?
Is there a plan?
We'll be just fine.
This scum doesn't stand a chance!
Trust me.
No dying on me.
Such are the whims of fate!
I'll fight as well.
You are in good hands!
I'll help.
Our prey.
You may rely on me. Be careful. This won't do. A hero's work is never done.
We'll be just fine.
I'm with you.
Ha!